Welcome to this conversation, the Morning Tea Marketing Misses, where we offer valuable tips to small business owners and sole traders to help them improve business, whether on or offline, and also we offer some life skills we've learned from our own experiences, whether good or bad or around the world type of experiences. It's always interesting, where we go. As usual, your hosts are Narelle Gaddy. Narelle is an accredited accessibility auditor. My name's Janine Vosper, and I help women have the courage to stand up and step out. And we've got Lara Arden. Lara is a business awards coach. And today, Jan is sharing some ideas on finance, because we've been covering finance the last couple of weeks. Jan Roach's business is Biz Connect Web Design and Over 50s Health. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Jan.
So yes, look, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, but all I have to go on is personal experience. Years ago, I did have a bookkeeping franchise, so kind of understand a little bit about the profit and loss and balance sheets and all that kind of stuff. So one thing, so I'm going to talk about a little bit from the over 50s health perspective, but also from the Biz Connect web design perspective. So with the web design, we are in contact with business owners all the time, because they're our clients. And so one thing that jumps out a lot is that business owners are sure they kind of know a little bit about profit and loss, not really too clear about the balance sheet and all that kind of stuff. But how is it that they're building business value? So not values as in, what we love and what we would like to do and who we'd like to help and all that kind of stuff. It's the actual value of the business that we're building into it. Sure, there needs to be profit made for us to stay in business, and making sure we're putting aside our GST for our BAS and our income tax and so on at the end of financial year. So that they're all separate individual topics that we could talk on individually, but just understanding the value that they're building into their business. So that's one thing to think about, because a profit doesn't show the value of the business. So if the business is running at really low, like cash, we hear cash is king, cash flow is king. If it doesn't have a lot of that, then it's nail biting to survive each week anyway. But just building a bit, so it could be a great reputation also. When someone sells a business, it can come along with what's that word? Oh my gosh, it's like the clients come along with it. It's a goodwill. So that makes the business valuable, having that goodwill. Okay, so there's that to consider. And of course, like I mentioned, cash flow, cash is king. Without it, it kind of makes it hard to, pay your rent and your phone and your insurance and all of that kind of stuff. Certainly something to consider. One thing that is very, very important, we've covered over the last few episodes, the importance of budgeting. One thing that very common for us is that business owners do not have a marketing budget. And it's very scary, because when they want to do any marketing, a business needs to have marketing in whatever shape or form it may come in. Yeah. We, of course, will always say a website is the most important marketing tool you will ever have, because you can make it seem like Janine spoke about having implemented SEO into her website, and how you can see the increase in traffic organically, even without having to pay for ads and so on. But it's very, very important to make sure that you do have a marketing budget. And some businesses will do really well with platforms like LinkedIn. Some may not even need to have Facebook, depending on what their niche is, depending on what their industry is. But a website, and some businesses will argue that they don't need a website because they only work for government, or they only work for the mines or whatever that might be. But surely one day they might want to sell their business. First thing a person is going to do, an interested party is going to do, is go and stalk them online. They're going to go and look at a website.
Yeah.
So if there isn't a website, well, then where are they going to start? They're going to think, is this business really a thing? Is it credible? Is it alive? And so on. So there's those things to consider. And so not only having a budget to have somebody build a website for you and SEO and all of that, you need to have it ongoing. So if you're just going to create this thing that looks great without having it maintained and implementing SEO, making it move each month, then it's just an expensive online brochure. It's going to go nowhere. And it's like sitting in a river that is fast flowing, and if you're not making it move forward, you are going to be drifting backwards. So that's a very quick and easy way of explaining how Google will see things happening. If you're not making that effort each month to put some articles with SEO, with some keywords or so on, whatever's relevant for your business. So there's some pretty important points for business owners with their websites. But the other thing, we've previously spoken about sustainability. So when we're talking about on the health perspective, yes, everyone's talking about the cost of living lately, and people will drop things off very, very quickly. And same with business as well. People will drop off their marketing efforts. Wow. As one of the first things, which is really crazy. I really need to have a look at what it is that their priorities are with spending their money in their business. With your health, you really need to prioritize, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And you've got to fill your own bucket before you can help anybody anytime, any day. Exactly. And so, I'd imagine, Lara, that you kind of went through a bit of, and same with me, I went through a little bit of those DV challenge, not a little bit, my whole life was a DV challenge. But if I didn't break that, get out of it and save my own life and start focusing on getting my health back, then who knows whether I'd still be alive, right? So there's all of those things that we personally need to prioritize, take stock of, and make changes if we need to. Everything is up to us. We have to put on our big girl pants and make those changes happen. Not just, and in my case, it wasn't just for me personally, it was also for my sons, my three sons, that I had to, get out of that scary place.
Yeah, good for you.
Big
decision, big choice, big move. But it's I think it was a powerful thing that you chose to do, Jan, and I'm glad that you're able to do it in such a way that you were able to stay safe as well. I know sometimes that can be a challenge, when people decide they want to leave, want to move, and so
it's quite often the thing that makes a woman stay in a relationship is that they're too scared to get out of it because of fear of being told, I'm going to
there's that, and there's also that if there's nowhere else to go, then
there's all of that stuff. But I just see it as though if I can't use my experience to have a better life and to support and help anybody else, whether it's a man or a woman, then that's then how I see it, as a waste of all of that. Whereas
experience,
I'm just, I'm strong and everybody knows it. And so I'm going to be there to support anybody who needs my help.
Beautiful. Speaking of support, and I like that you're talking about how marketing is a really important and valuable way of making sure that we're adding support to the business, and that also a website and having web pages is another version of that support, giving the business a home, a place for it to belong, where it's online and people can go and find it. And the other thing I was thinking of when I was listening to you is that for me, it occurred to me that marketing's like fertilizer. It helps your business grow, and there's different types of fertilizers. And, like when things start to become stagnant and they aren't growing for a while, you know, like that's okay. You know, like business is sort of up and down anyway, and it's going to have, you know, seasons or periods where it's just sort of, you know, like going sideways until it goes up again or goes down or whatever. And I was thinking about how, you know, the marketing being the fertilizer with the opportunity for the business to get a chance to grow again. One of the things that I remembered, I know that Janine, you were saying how you really worked on your SEO. That was a big goal for you. Was it this year or the last quarter?
Yeah, no, it's this year. So
yeah, this year. Yeah, good on you. One of the things that I remembered reading about in SEO is the value of having backlinks, because that really helps the, you know, the growth and the algorithm work harder for us or smarter for us with our SEO. Because, you know, when Google can say, oh, look, you know, that website or you know, that program or service that business owner is offering it's not only on that website, it's also there on LinkedIn, or it's on Facebook, or you know, it's being referred to by another website. So it's all something that starts to grow and develop and strengthen this credibility online, you know. And that's, you know, where the business awards come on. It's another opportunity for the business online to have another backlink, you know, where it can be referred to from, you know, other organizations or institutions that have market authority, you know, whether it's you know, radio, TV, or even an awards ceremony or awards organization as well. It's wherever else we can get those touch points of credibility that, you know, help to raise the business profile. I'm guessing that, you know, these are all things that can help add value to business when it comes to being, you know, prepared for sale. When you were talking about profit, I remembered a conversation I had with Arnold Kelsley, who's a business broker at one of the BX meetings that I go to recently. He was sharing with me that, because he's involved in selling a business, and he was sharing with me that one of the things that they do look at is how much profit is in the business, and that it can be sold at twice the value of the profit. And it made me think, you know, I think the idea of just starting small, even with Mike McAllowitz talks about 1%, you know, of your income, going that into an account that you just call profit, and that, you know, you can start to grow that. That doesn't matter where we're at, you know, as long as we're starting to grow it, that's a profit place or position for the business where, you know, we can start to build value there as well. So, yeah, thank you for everything that you shared, because it's just helping me to sort of join all the dots in my mind as to, you know, where it all makes sense. So,
and the other thing is too, still talking about the finances, the budget.
Yeah.
If you, as a business owner, if you do not know how to do these things, to make these things hum and sing, then you need that in your budget to be able to pay somebody to become part of your team to do that. Whether it is you put them on wages, whether you contract them, or like us with a web design company, a digital agency, you have to get it done. So if it means putting aside extra money to pay somebody to do it for you, then you've got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people don't do that, Jan, and particularly, as you said, with marketing, it's one of the things that they don't realize it's so important to do. And whatever you do, whatever sort of business you've got, there'll always be holes in the bucket. There'll always be, you know, people dropping off. You've solved somebody's problem and they're not working with you any longer. So you've got to keep filling up that bucket all the time. And if you don't fill it up with some form of marketing, then you are going to go backwards, and eventually your bucket's going to be empty. So it's such it's interesting, because I when I was in the GM role, my focus was creating sales. That was what I was, the general manager of sales, and my whole focus was on that. We had an operations manager come in who was focused on accounting and was focused on saving money. So, and we actually could not agree on very few things, because I recognized we needed to save money, but unless you keep putting more in that bucket, it doesn't matter how much money you save.
That's a massive thing, is that people scrimp and save the little pennies. Whereas if they actually put some money into what is going to make their business move ahead and grow, to bring in more leads, to create more income, then what was that saying about, you know, scrimping? I heard Narelle mention
save the pennies and the pounds look after themselves.
Yeah, but this is kind of a little different in that people are so focused on saving.
Yeah.
Then you kind of got to find that balance.
Yeah, I actually moved out of that role because of the different values that we had in running the business, which I'd been successfully taking the business through GFC,
Huge
making
frustration,
multi-millions of
isn't
dollars
it?
for them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to save some money on some accounting practices or something.
Why don't you make some money? That'll take care of it all.
Absolutely, that was the whole idea of it. It's such a great point. Yeah, thank you so much, Jan, and for everyone that adds value to every one of these conversations. It's always a learning experience for every one of us to be to listen to what others are doing, and there's so much knowledge in this space here with the four of us. There's so much value to share. So thank you. And that's another conversation with the Morning Tea Marketing Misses. And remember, as I remind you each time, to jump on the YouTube channel, please comment. We love to know what your feedback is from each of these, and definitely like and share.
Yeah.
And that will help our marketing too.
Yeah. Can I ask a question at the end here, just to help inspire some of those comments? Perhaps some of our viewers could, if I ask the question, they could share an answer that works for them as to what they do to have a marketing budget in their business. You know, is that something that they put aside every time they have money come in, or is that something that they plan for every quarter? I'm going to go and spend this much money in the business to help with its marketing. So what is it that is their strategy that works for them when it comes to marketing and making sure they're taking care of that side of it in the business?
Great idea, Lara. Excellent. We love to hear those answers.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.